Hey everybody, welcome back to The Stuff of Legend. My name is D-Lone. I've got another video for you guys. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about Crisis on Infinite Earths, among one other topic after that. But that'll be about a very, very big business move that happened recently in the last couple months. Didn't get a chance to talk to you guys about that. There's been so much going on, but I'm going to talk to you guys about that today. So stick around at the end for more. But we're going to be covering a lot of news involving Crisis on Infinite Earths and what DC is doing with a lot of the different franchises they've had, not only in recent years in the Arrowverse, but a lot of the other DC properties over the many, many years of DC TV and film. So let's go ahead and jump right in and start talking about that. So first up on the agenda today, we have Tom Welling. You guys know him as Clark Kent Superman from Smallville, but he was a Superman that was no tights, no flights. He basically stayed on the ground as Clark Kent in development for a very, very long time, even after he had already left for Metropolis and was working for the Daily Planet. They basically did an entire Superman arc without him officially taking the mantle of Superman, even though they did the red, blue blur and all kinds of other different teases where he wore the chest logo and all kinds of stuff, but never flying around with the cape and all that stuff. They kind of alluded to that, but never quite got there. Up until the very, very last moment of the show at the series finale. So great. I love that TV show so much. But this is a big, big news for fans of not only Smallville, but Superman, because this Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover event for the Arrowverse on CW is going ham on some Superman. If you guys are already fans of Superman, if you guys are fans of the Man of Steel, this type of stuff, not necessarily Henry Cavill, but the character of Superman, there's going to be a lot to appreciate in this next one. So if you guys didn't gather from my thumbnail, we're looking at three Supermen right here. On the far left, we have Brandon Routh. You guys know him as Atom from DC Legends of Tomorrow. He was also on Arrow. He plays Ray Palmer, and he was the guy that played Superman in Superman Returns, and that was not a well-received film. It took a very isolated approach to Superman, really showed off how difficult it is to be the Man of Steel, the alien from outer space no one can quite understand. But we have Brandon Routh taking up the mantle, and he is coming back to that role. He played that role really, really well. Unfortunately, the way that the story was written didn't do him any favors, but he was good in the role. He looks the part, certainly looks the part, and I'm really happy that they're going to give him another shot to play a Kingdom Come type of Superman that is much more mature, much older, from probably an alternate universe, obviously, because in this universe he's Ray Palmer. So they're gonna highlight that, and I love that DC is doing this, where they're just saying, you know what, Smallville canonized in the Arrowverse, or at least in an alternate universe. They're recognizing that DC is not just one universe, but hey, they had the the old 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, all of these different iterations of the characters we know and love, played by different actors. They still matter, and the fans love these guys, and that's what being a fan of Much Fiction is all about. I mean, that's what we got right here. Boom. Check it out. This is my new t-shirt I made for you guys, for myself as well. But that's part of my brand, is that, man, we're all fans of this stuff. We're fans of Much Fiction. We're not just fans of one fiction, fan of Much Fiction. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be Marvel or DC when you can select both. See what I'm saying? Or it could be, I don't have to like Batman or Superman. I can like both. And I know you do too. So we have here, let me just jump right into the meat of this. I don't want to drag too long. I'm going to try to keep this brief. But this is really, really exciting. Tom Welling is set to reprise his role, his Smallville Clark Kent role in the Arrowverse crossover on the CW. I am not going to go through the entirety of the article. I'm going to give you guys the gist, because you don't need too much more out of this, but it's just here. It says, and then there were three. Tom Welling is set to reprise his Smallville role as Clark Kent in the CW's upcoming DC Arrowverse crossover called Crisis on Infinite Earths, coming out in December 2019. Joining the two other actors that have played the Man of Steel, Tyler Hoechlin, who's on CW's Supergirl, and Brandon Routh, who both already set to portray the character in the crossover. So we know this is very interesting, because Deadline is sharing this news here. what they say here is Tyler Hoechlin and Brandon Routh are set to portray Superman, whereas Tom Welling is only so far confirmed to be playing Clark Kent. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Clark Kent is Superman. I have a feeling, based on the way that they left the show in Smallville at the very end, he finally recognizes his destiny at the final moments of that series. If you guys haven't seen Smallville, it's a lot to watch. There's a lot of TV there, but it's good. It's awesome. Check it out. Really, really great. Never been a better Lex Luthor ever, and there probably never will be. But we also have this Clark Kent. Now, Tom's thing back then was, I don't want to wear tights. I don't want to fly around. I want to keep the character grounded and get more in-depth about what it's like to be someone that doesn't belong here, you know, and he wanted to really get into the character acting, and that shows. It was very CW dramatic at the time, but it was also a really, really nice, fresh take on the character. Very different even than Dean Cain, who took a very similar approach, but focused on the romanticized relationship between him, or the romance between him and Lois. So this is a really, really fun thing for me. A lot of fans are really excited to see Smallville come back, and Hoechlin and Routh take up their places as Superman, and to see them all together. Hopefully we'll get to see them. Maybe it'll be piece by piece. Maybe they won't all interact together, the three of them. I'll be willing to bet anything that we will see all three of them at some point in the crossover event together. There's no way they don't do that. I mean, that would be so awesome, so epic, and I freaking love Tom Welling. I can't wait to see this. So I'll leave that there. But in similar news, we also have Erica Durant. So if you guys don't remember her, she played Lois Lane on Smallville